Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Container as a Service Academy, otherwise known as CaaS Academy. And today we're going to step back a little bit and go back down to sort of underlying principles. And we're going to talk about the container operating system or container optimized operating system. And let's put this into some context first. I mean, operating system, why do I need a container optimized operating system? Can any Linux operating system or even Windows support containers today? And the answer is yes, of course it can. But let's take the whole concept of containers to a logical conclusion. Pardon me. So let's start off with where we started, i.e. virtualization some time ago. So if I have a host, and we'll just make this a Linux host. So I've got a Linux host here. And that Linux host is going to have a kernel. And part of that kernel is a virtualization layer. And there's some user land processes with VMs, but we'll just, virtualization's there. And then we have a whole bunch of packages. Those could be libraries. Those could be functional packages. Everything from GNU utils for things like ls and curl and move. I mean, curl's not GNU utils, but you have a bunch of basic packages that you always end up needing, and then you've got packages for all these other tools like curl, wget, traceroute, ping. All these things are basically deployed as packages in this operating system. Great. So now I'm going to use every color because we got new colors. I'm going to use every color. We then put VMs. So this is just to manage the host itself, and then we created VMs. And the idea was the VMs might be running lots of different operating systems. That was the thought in the day. So some might be running Solaris, some might be running various flavors of Windows or NT. Some might be running various flavors of Linux. But again, in here, we had the kernel layer, and we had the packages. Deployed. So in theory, this was great. As in many computer science activities, the theory is great. And it served us reasonably well for some period of time. But these VMs, first of all, because you're paying an overhead to have a kernel and all these packages in it, you have smaller numbers of VMs. So you're apt to potentially put multiple applications in here. And these applications might have different dependencies, or even different service or server executables with different dependencies. So first of all, we get into dependency hell, right? Because this requires Python 2.7, this requires Python 3.0. We have Python 2.7 deployed here. Someone replaces it with 3.0 to handle this, and then we break that. And so you get